So your relationship with your employees and your team is one of the most important factors to their success and their personal development and growth. So you want to involve them in setting expectations first, but sometimes your employee might fall short. It may not go exactly the way that you're expecting it to go. So you will inevitably have to deliver some critical feedback to help that person improve the performance. However, if that isn't done well, it can actually damage the relationship, which again is so critical to the success of both your team and that individual. So we're going to run through, Jessica and Courtney are going to run through a scenario of feedback that doesn't go exactly the way that it should. It's not involving the employees. They're going to start off with that, and then we're going to give you an example of what it could look like to how we can actually involve that employee in that conversation. At the end of this video, we're going to give you 5 steps to help you improve the conversation. It's our Revela conversation model.
Jess, we really need to talk about these company mileage logs. You never meet the deadline of getting them to me by the end of the week. And then on Monday morning, I look silly because I had unprepared and don't have them. I really need you to start getting them to me on time from now on. Do you understand?
Well, yeah, I understand, but you don't know how hard it is to meet that deadline.
Well, do whatever you need to do to make it happen.
So in this scenario, you can see that the employee, who's Jessica in this case, probably doesn't feel like she was really heard by her manager. So instead, we're going to go through what the conversation formula looks like. It involves 5 steps. The first one is to state your expectations. Again, we want to make sure that we have clear expectations up front. To state what you witnessed, what didn't go exactly the way that you thought you were planning on it going. Listen to the other person, so ask for their side of the story. Then you want to agree on a plan to improve the situation. And last, you need to discuss if there are any consequences. And if there aren't any specific consequences, say like a verbal or written write-up, anything like that, it's just how it impacts the rest of the people or the team. So we'll let you guys start with step 1, stating the expectations.
Hi, Jess. Thanks for meeting with me. I wanted to talk to you about the company mileage logs. The report is always due by Friday at 5.
Step 2. Now you want to state what you noticed. So letting Jessica know what didn't go exactly the way that you were planning.
Over the past few weeks, when I come in on Monday mornings, I don't have the reports. I usually receive them before I go to my meeting.
Step 3. Now you need to give Jessica an opportunity to state her side of the story so you have a better understanding of what happened.
So can you tell me what's been happening with these reports?
Sure. So I can't pull the report for the week until all of the vehicles have returned. And once they return at 5, sometimes it's later, I either have to track them down to get their mileage or I have to go to the vehicles and check it myself. So then I end up staying at the office until 7 or 8 at night on a Friday just to get it all done. And honestly, that's not fair to me. So lately I've just been waiting until Monday morning to do the reports. And I didn't know you handed them out in the meeting, so I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
The next step is we have to decide what to do from here. How are we going to solve this problem? Obviously there's an issue. We need to come up with a solution.
I understand. I didn't realize this was happening every week. I agree that it's unfair for you to stay late on Friday night. What do you think we should do about it?
So I've gotten into the habit of doing the reports first thing Monday morning, but I've thought about a couple different solutions. So 1, either we can change the report so that it runs Friday through Thursday, and then I can have them done Friday morning so that you have them. Or 2, we can leave it as is, and I can still complete it Monday morning. But if we take the second option, instead of handing them out in your meeting, we'll just have to email them out to everyone afterwards.
I like that idea. Let's leave the report as is, and I can start emailing them out on Mondays at noon. That will save us some time in the meetings too.
So you can see in this situation, they agreed on a plan together. They came up with a couple different solutions and they agreed on the plan together, which is really important, that it's not one-sided. They both have some involvement in it. The final step is to discuss consequences, which can be difficult, but I think we need to set the employee up for success and make sure that they clearly know that if there continues to be problems or issues with it, that there is going to be some follow-up.
So in the future, if something is going on that's causing items to be late, what do you think we should do?
I think from now on, I need to make sure that I come to you first to discuss a solution. I didn't realize that my changing the deadline was affecting your work too.
So you can see in this second scenario the conversation was, one, much more productive, and they actually had an opportunity to kind of dive deeper into the problem itself and come up with a better solution, a long-term solution, instead of the manager just saying, well, this has to change, I need to get the reports on time moving forward. So you guys did a great job. Thank you for sharing this. So the conversation formula gives you a tool that you can use to have those productive conversations with your employee. They're not always fun, but they do help us solve problems and they help us get to where we need to be. If you need to have a difficult conversation, what are you going to do?